Welcome to the Sunshine Coast. Not quite an island, but not quite the mainland either. This little slice of paradise lives by its own set of rules. Kind of like the BC Ferry's booking system. Which is why today, I thought ahead and got my own boat and cameraman, because I am not missing a tick. Pretty smart, eh? Which actually brings me to a bigger question. Life. It's all about epic adventures and journeys, right? You know, kind of like going sailing or buying a home. You need to learn how to read the tides, how to navigate the wavy world of real estate. And let's be fair, I'm probably not the best person to do that. But I think I do know someone who might be able to help. Dude, this is getting kind of tiring. Can we switch, please? I hold the camera, you say the words. Trust me to hire the stoic, quiet cameraman. Sunshine Coast, home to eternal sunshine and skyrocketing property prices. Legend has it that if you want a house by the ocean, you have about as much chance as seeing Bigfoot in the forest. But legends can be somewhat misleading, which is why today we're teaming up with local realtor Gina Stockwell to find out everything there is to know about living in this little coast of sunshine. Starting at the port town of Gibsons, we'll be making our way towards the unique community of Robert Creek, before ending our tour at the iconic Sechelt. So, to all you home seekers out there, grab your oars and life jackets because this tour is about to set sail. Gina, thank you for agreeing to show us around today. My first question is, what is the Sunshine Coast?
Well, the Sunshine Coast is a community 40 minutes ferry ride from Vancouver. It's part of the mainland. It's not an island, even though it feels like an island, and it's got the lifestyle feel of an island.
What is your personal connection to the Sunshine Coast?
My grandmother found this beautiful area. It was in Sechelt on the waterfront in the 60s, built a cabin, and my parents started to come over every summer. My parents fell in love with it and packed up and moved their whole family over, and then their friends came, and that was the start of it all.
So your whole life was spent here in these communities?
Here, yes.
You did leave at some point for a couple of years, right?
Most coast kids, when you grow up here, it tends to pull you back. You always remember their great memories, and so a lot of people come back to the coast. Take a little vacation for a while, but it draws you back in because it's really a wonderful place. And that's what happened to me. I was away for about 10 years, came back and got married, and 2 kids later and 3 businesses later, and then real estate happened.
I have loved chatting with you and hearing a little bit more about your story, but I think it's time we checked out Gibsons.
Excellent. Can't wait to show you.
Gina, I see exactly what you said. This place is gorgeous and so tranquil.
Yes, it is. So this is Gibsons Harbor, and it's a beautiful, bustling place. Tons of activity, boats and tourists, and it's a gorgeous place to be.
How does that tourism and ferry affect the community of Gibson?
You need to make your plans. If you're coming over as a tourist, book your ferry, get your reservations in order, and then you'll be guaranteed to land in this beautiful area without frustration.
Guaranteed by BC Ferries.
Guaranteed, as long as there's not a breakdown or, waiting for some crew member.
Gina, how would you break down the community of Gibsons?
So the town of Gibsons is basically 2 parts. We're right here in the lower Gibsons, and then up the hill and at the top is upper Gibsons. So that's pretty much the whole town of Gibsons.
So small but mighty.
Yes, that's a great way of putting it. Yeah.
Who is actually living in Gibsons?
We have a lot of commuters that live in Gibsons. Very mixed demographic between first-time home buyers, families, seniors.
When we say commuters, are we talking about people living in this community but going towards Vancouver daily?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, daily.
So this isn't actually a little isolated slice of paradise. It's a slice of paradise that's being shared with the world.
That's right.
I'm looking around and I'm seeing cranes. I'm seeing construction.
Yes.
What is happening here?
So this whole side hill here, there's layered roads all the way up. There's a new development being built just at the top. The town of Gibson, they're focused on density, so we're starting to see a lot more condo developments. They're not huge and obtrusive, like they're sort of low rise, but it's what we need. We need housing.
Gina, thank you so much for sharing the community of Gibsons with me.
You're welcome.
It has been beautiful to see what, for many, is the first entry to the Sunshine Coast.
Yes.
I can't wait to see where you're going to take me next. Where are we going?
We're going to Roberts Creek.
Roberts Creek? Okay, is that kind of like a Dawson's Creek kind of vibe?
It's got a great energy in Roberts Creek.
Walking around Gibsons, I could see why people fall in love with the Sunshine Coast, especially if this is one of the first places that they see after getting off the ferry. With all the great food and coffee bars like Beachcombers. What impressed me most though was the number of people who stopped to chat with Gina during filming here. She's like a mini celebrity.
Do you ever have people coming to the Sunshine Coast wanting to buy, and you just tell them, do you know what, guys? I don't think this is the good place for you to be.
Oh, I talk people out of buying homes all day. I really
It's
do.
a terrible business model.
You know what? It's got to work for them, and if it's not about selling somebody something, that's not a business. If you want people to love where they live and have a great experience, that's how your business grows. They tell their friends, they want them to come to the community. If you sell somebody a miserable house, they're leaving, they're never coming back, and they're telling 20 people that this is an awful place. So it's all about finding the right home, the right neighborhood for those people.
Roberts Creek promised to be a slower pace than Gibsons, and based on the already chill vibes I saw there, I for one was very excited to see how much slower we could actually get.
This is the big surprise you were telling me about.
This is the Mandala, Roberts Creek. It's quite a focal point. Beautiful work of art, all done by locals.
This is so cool. What is Roberts Creek?
Roberts Creek is a funky, unique community. It's just got a really low-key, easygoing vibe to it.
I feel like I don't need to ask, but I will. How is Roberts Creek different from Gibsons, where we just were?
That's very different. You've got larger properties, more privacy, a little bit more rural feel. There's a general store, you can do yoga. It's got a great vibe. There's excellent restaurants here as well.
Also, only a couple of minutes from Gibsons, so those large amenities seem to be at your doorstep.
Absolutely, yes, you're close to everything here.
What is your favorite thing about Roberts Creek?
My favorite thing about Roberts Creek is, well, this is Roberts Creek right here.
This is the creek
That
of Roberts Creek.
is Roberts Creek right here, yes. You're really living in paradise. You got this gorgeous ocean, you got this beautiful beach, and you can literally walk out into the sandbar and pick up a Dungeness crab.
Just straight on in for dinner.
Yeah,
Wow.
with a fishing license,
Of course.
of course. Yeah.
This type of property we're seeing in the background, is this typical of what you might expect to see in Roberts Creek?
Yeah, so there's lots of homes such as this along the waterfront, but there's a mix. It's a wide range, let's put it that way.
Gina, thank you so much. It's great to see a community so embedded with culture and arts. One last place to see today. Let's check out the iconic Sechelt.
Yes, looking forward to that.
Oh, I can't wait to see how it's going to differ from where we are here.
Okay, so slow may have been unfair. Instead, Roberts Creek is peaceful, community focused, full of art and culture. It reminded me so much of an artist's retreat, but just year round. Ideally located between Gibsons and Sechelt, meaning you are never too far from everything you might need.
What is your favorite part of the business or the real estate experience then?
For me, it's about connecting with the people, finding what they're looking for, really honing in on what their goals are, and giving them a great, sort of white glove experience. That's what I am all about, and I love that process all the way through. I've got a wonderful team behind me in terms of the marketing and conveyancing, paperwork, and I can focus on what I'm really good at, and that's connecting people with their dream properties.
I love that. I love that white glove experience. I think is such a great way of phrasing it.
Next up is the second largest community on the Sunshine Coast, runner-up only to Powell River. Now, I've heard a lot before coming to the coast about it being a place for old-timers and retirees. But Gina assures me that Sechelt is proof that this is not the case.
This view is stunning.
You can see the hospital is just over there, and then that's the main artery into town. But the village is it's behind the trees over here.
Oh, so you get your privacy if you're living up here, but the
Yes.
village is right there.
Very close by, yes.
Is this community typical of what we'd see surrounding Sechelt?
Yes, you'll see quite a few view properties, single-family detached homes such as this. This is a lovely neighborhood.
In terms of a lifestyle, what can someone expect if they come to the Sechelt neighborhood?
Well, you know, it's wonderful because you're literally just moments away from Coast Gravity Park, which is a downhill mountain bike park. And you're seconds away to a beautiful sandy beach in Sechelt Inlet, where it's a sort of a rec hub. And then you've got the ocean, you know, wide open ocean there, which is also great for boating and crabbing, fishing, all of that. So
that perception of it's solely for the elderly, that's getting thrown out the window here.
definitely more for others and not just the seniors, for sure. Yeah.
What kind of developments are we seeing coming into Sechelt?
There's some rental purpose buildings being built. There is a lot of townhomes that are being slated coming online, and quite a few single family detached homes. So Sechelt's definitely still in a growth period for sure. We have more housing opportunities coming on the market, which is great. And there's the few places that are slated to develop, and we'll start seeing that over the next 5 years.
I'm seeing an open lot here, and before I buy it and get myself a mountain view, I heard that you're taking us to see an ocean view property today.
Yes.
What are we waiting for? Let's go see it.
Let's do that.
Oh, Gina, you were not lying. This is definitely waterfront property.
Isn't it gorgeous?
So this is quintessential Sunshine Coast.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Every piece of property come on a boat?
It can, actually. This one has its own mooring block out there, so you can just come with your boat, paddle in, and then live the dream.
That is unbelievable. What are the benefits of living at a waterfront property?
This beach is called the Golden Mile, and we often see orcas coming up and rubbing their bellies along the beach. No word of a lie.
What?
Yeah, they'll rub their bellies. Seals, it's you got eagles in the trees behind. They come down and hit the fish, and it's pretty magical.
Is this property a good example of what you can expect from waterfront living?
Well, this property, this is a modern home. It's built out to really maximize like 1,500 square foot concrete deck, ocean right here. When you're in any one of those rooms, you feel like you're on a cruise ship. That's what's so unique about the Sunshine Coast is every house you're in and you're looking out at the ocean, it's a different feel, it's a different vibe. There's something for everybody here.
What is it about this type of property and the layout that would appeal to someone?
Easy living, absolutely. Just walk in, open up your patio doors, walk out onto the beach and enjoy.
How do you even go about finding a property like this?
Well, you need a very good realtor, for one. This house and a lot of homes are a bit of a sleeper. You don't see it from the road necessarily. And it's not until you step out onto patios like this and look at this that you really get the feel of the home, right? So it's really important to work with somebody that knows these jewels that we have to offer here on the coast.
Gina, thank you so much for giving us a tour of this beautiful slice of paradise.
You're most welcome.
The one thing that has become abundantly clear, local knowledge trumps all here.
Yes.
I have one last thing I need to do. I need to see if there's any orcas coming up on the beach and scratching their bellies.
Alrighty, let's go.
Oh, this is gonna be so cool.
All right, let me just get Brooke's shoes.
I love that.
Good.
So you sealed orcas, we're gonna have everything come up here?
Everything is here. It's amazing.
That's gonna be so cool.
So, I've got a confession to make, folks. Despite my hilarious intro, I did not row over to the Sunshine Coast on a rubber dinghy. Instead, I had a very cool seaplane ride that took all of 20 minutes and was one of the most picturesque journeys I've ever taken. Look, I've been meaning to visit this part of BC for some time now, And what better way to do that than with an expert like Gina? Someone who grew up here on the coast and invested back into their community. From the award-winning Ready Mix Batch plant to being part of the team who developed the world-renowned Coast Gravity Park, Gina's love for the coast is evident. And between the orcas scratching their bellies in your backyard and each house coming with its own parking for a boat, what's not to love? I mean, sure, you may have to grapple with the enigma that is BC ferries every once in a while, but in my opinion, what you get in return may be worth the hassle.